Hello and welcome to MidKent College. Thank you for signing up for this webinar today. My name is Karen and I'm going to be your host for the next 30 minutes or so. I'm joined today from Charlotte from the Built Environment, who's going to shortly be going through more about her subject area, the careers available to you and where some of her students have gone on to. Now, visitors to our normal open days tell us that they really value being able to walk around the building and see our facilities. Unfortunately, at the moment, obviously that isn't possible, but what you can check out is our 360-degree photos on our website. Just some general housekeeping to start us off. If you do have any questions as we go through, please put them in the chat to the right-hand side of the screen, and my colleague Sue and Hayley will be there to help you. I'd like to start today's session by introducing our principal, Simon Cook, who's going to share a little bit more about the college.
Hello there, I'm Simon and I'm the principal of MidKent College. It's great to be able to talk to you, and I so wish I would be able to talk to you in person, but virtually, hopefully your opportunity to get to know a little bit more about the college will help you with your decisions that you need to make. So over the next 30 minutes in this virtual open event, you're going to have an opportunity to meet one of the tutors from your chosen subject area. Really make the most of that time to find out what it means for you. Ask some questions. No question is a silly question. Please ask whatever question you've got. Take some notes, but make sure that you've got the info that you really need to make that decision about what you want to do in September. And if you're really not sure what you want to do, then you're not the only person. There are lots of people every year that we see. It won't be any different the current year under these current circumstances who really don't know what they want to do. There might be even some of you who are thinking you really don't know what to do because you see what's going on in the world and you're not quite sure what job prospects there may be. By the time you finish your programme, the world will be a different place again, and there will be many more opportunities then that may not exist now. So talk to our staff about it. And also don't be frightened if you don't know what you want to do. Have a look at some of our other sessions. Come into other sessions and see. What's really important, and one thing I say to everybody who comes into the college, you must feel comfortable with the people that you're going to be sharing your next few months and years with. And I want you to feel comfortable that you're going to be able to flourish and thrive as a person, not just study a qualification, but flourish and thrive as a person with those people you talk to. So if you don't get any of the answers that you think you need in the virtual session, we've got a brilliant team on our course inquiries, and we've got a brilliant team in our careers office who will help you navigate the language, what options there are, and for you, what's the right thing to do, which is a question we often get asked every year. I hope you enjoy your session, and I really, really hope that I get to see you very, very soon at the college, and we look forward to welcoming you with us in September, if not in person, virtually, that's for sure. Good luck.
So next up, I'd like to introduce Charlotte, who's one of our Construction and the Built Environment lecturers. Hi, Charlotte.
Hello, Karen. Well, today I'm going to be talking about the BTEC National Extended Diploma in Construction and the Built Environment. It's awarded by Pearson. At the end of the 2 years, it's the equivalent of 3 A-levels. It's split into 15 units. Of that, we've got 9 mandatory units. What I'm going to do is give you a brief overview of some of the units that we will be studying and potentially you would have a look at. So as I said, units 1 to 9 are mandatory. So with this, they all interlink with each other. So the good thing about the Pearson qualification, and especially the Construction and the Built Environment course, it isn't that you pick up a skill and knowledge, you actually pick it up, use it and apply it in the next unit. So if you look at the first 3 units here, this is where this is slightly different on this course to previous years that we've had. These are externally assessed qualifications, exams. The first one is construction principles. With that, it basically means that you'll be studying maths, science and human comfort. Different than what you've been doing at school, this is all related to construction, so it wouldn't be the area of a rectangle or an area of a circle. You'll be looking at an area of land and actually saying how many houses you'll be able to put onto there. It could be that you're working out how much air that you need to flow through your building or the amount of windows that you need in there. So as you can see, the maths is a little bit more applied, so sometimes you find it a little bit easier than what you would have been doing at school. Unit 2 and 3 are very different. With those units, you have a 12-hour controlled assessment that takes place over 2 weeks. Again, these are marked externally by Pearson, set by Pearson, but we will be there to guide you and help you along the way. In your first year of study, Unit 1 and Unit 2 will be the exams you take, and then in Year 2, Unit 3. Mainly because at that stage you just haven't got the skills, knowledge, and actual technical ability to complete that successfully. Going through the rest of the units just very briefly, we can go into it in a little bit more detail if you want any more questions on that. Unit 4, Construction Technology, it basically gives you a good understanding and a grounding of what a building is, why we've got it. So when we turn up to site, what do we need to do, how we test the soil, the foundations we'd select, the type of walling and the roof we'd put onto that. So although you look at a lot of the buildings around you, there's a lot of information and a lot of technology and design that's gone on before you even turn up on site. Health and safety. Many years ago, we used to say this is health and safety regulation and this is what you need to do. Very different now. The qualifications aimed at you being competent when you go into the workplace. So, for example, one of the assignments could be that you're given a building to demolish and you need to come up with a risk assessment and a method statement. So, with this, it's used in terms that you would use in the workplace, or if you know anyone that's in construction, they understand the terms that you're using in the same way. So it's kind of getting you used to and ready for the working environment, even at this stage. So it's giving you a scenario that you can work to. Surveying is one of our practical units. So we'll be out, rain, snow, and no doubt you'll have a camera crew coming out to take some photos of you, because it is one of the most practical units that we do. It goes from being able to use a tape measure, which at this stage you may think you know how to use it, but we're actually going on to 50-meter tape measures. You can see a little piece of equipment behind me. I've got a total station in there. You will be going out and using some of this pieces of equipment. So we are going to the latest technology we've got. This is where we kind of get in some interlinking in here. So Unit 7, our graphical detailing unit, it teaches you how to draw by hand, but it also links into Unit 2, construction design. With construction design, you need to actually design in 3D. So you'll come up at the end of your 12 hours with a design of a building in 3D using a program called AutoCAD Revit. Plus also in Unit 7, you come up with the design of a building of your choice. So this year is for you budding architects out there that really want to look at seeing how to design it. You come up with your floor plans, you come up with basic paper drawings by hand, and then you convert that into 3D. Unit 8, building regulations and controls. So if your mum and dad or anyone that you know is looking to adapt their house in any way, shape or form, you will be able to produce the drawings, know about the regulations you need to follow, plus also be able to fill out the paperwork. So again, it's very scenario based and getting you ready for the real life and real working environment. Unit 9, construction management, goes from everything from you being able to have an understanding of what a site manager is, what resources you need, when you need it, and how to plan it. So without you having knowledge of Unit 4, Unit 4, Unit 2, and Unit 7, you won't really have an understanding of the construction processes that go in place. So again, they're linking nice and easily. Unit 10, building surveying. It's been really good for us at this moment. You're actually doing measured surveys on your own home. So we'll be expecting you to come up with floor plans, actually going around and actually opening your eyes when you're walking around and seeing if there's any problems or concerns. So dilapidation survey and a condition survey. So at the end of that unit, your mum and dad or your parents or your carers could be quite happy or displeased with what you found out about what you think they need to correct around the house. Measurement techniques, it links into tendering and estimating. So measurement is the process that takes place before we actually send out a tender. So you'll be coming up with actual quantities of materials that you need to produce for the tender to take place, so you can actually get a budget together for your building or your structure that you're putting in there. Unit 14, provision of services. When you turn on a tap, it's great, water comes out, but this also teaches you how the water comes into your building, how it goes around it, and you can actually just then, from your simple domestic building, see how that is utilised within a larger structure. It goes through your drainage going away and your gas coming into the building, plus also the electrics. So it's an all-round nice unit, and again, that will link in with Unit 4, so you know how the building's put together, and then 14 tells you how to make it come to life. Further maths doesn't really get that much more complex from what you've been doing at GCSE, what you will have been studying in Unit 1. but it does start getting you ready for university because the second assignment is on calculus. Again, at this stage, it's something we don't need to be worried about because we'll talk you and walk you through everything you need to know for that unit. Work experience, it links in beautifully to the study program, and no doubt we'll talk about that a little bit later on. It's you in the workplace. The first part of it is you talking about how you're going to get ready for work experience, how you're going to find something that's really useful for you, and how that's going to take you towards your future career path. Unit 17, projects in construction. Fantastic unit for you to get to know some of the buildings around you. I know that I walk around now and my eyes are certainly open. Go up to London, the best thing you can do is look up. So this is really you looking at a project that you've got an interest in. It could be the Shard, it could be the Gherkin, it could be something that is new technology, and this is you looking at it and seeing how and what sort of impact it's had. So it's okay us putting in structures and buildings, but if they're not designed and not actually put in place correctly, then they're not going to get the outcome that they're desired for. A lot of people recently have been looking at the new Tottenham Stadium, so it can be something along those lines to follow your hobbies and your interests. We actively encourage it. Construction and civil engineering, the last unit on this list. We have got others we can choose, but I've picked out the main ones that are likely to be on your course. Is more about heavy side of it. So if you look at the Olympic Park Stadium and High Speed 2, of two of the big civil engineering projects that are out there at the moment, you'll be looking at the type of earthworks, the different ways in which we construct. So tunneling wouldn't necessarily be on every project, but it would certainly be a tool in the arsenal of a civil engineer. So that's kind of the units. And now I'm going to go on to where this can lead to and some practicals. Here, as a course, I couldn't put my hand on my heart and say you'll be doing a lot of practical. Depends on your idea of practical. As you can see in front of you, we've got some examples of. We've got some budding architects in there. If you see, we've got a 3D design of a building that's in London called Trellick Tower. We've got some 3D design CAD work. So we've got a mixture of manual and CAD designs. And then we also do the surveying. It will either be one of those subjects you will absolutely love or you will hate. It is something that we do rain, shine. Inside, we don't do very much, but it is certainly outside, and you will get used to us going to and fro. Moving on, just to basically show where this can lead you. So we're in our further education stage at level 3. We're getting you ready for your next stages, whatever that could be. So these are some of the options that you can go through. So basically we can go into college and stay and go into higher education, or you can go into university and have a placement there. The course actually provides you a fantastic starting point for the either of these different core progression routes that you've got. Just pulled out a few of the courses. So the construction of the built environment, if I just let you know, it's an umbrella term. So when we say the built environment, it basically gives all of our specialisms. So it covers construction, building services, and civil engineering. From this one course, you've got 15 units to have a snapshot and see what your interests are. It's really rare for you to come into this course and actually have a full understanding of what you want to do. So from here, you can see I really like being outside. I don't like being inside. I want to do design work. So this gives you an opportunity. A lot of people want to come in as quantity surveyors, but may change their mind as they go through the course. And as you can see, the list in front of you for you to be able to go college or university, there's quite a wide path for you to go. So see this course as kind of an umbrella that holds a lot of options, a lot of career paths that you could move on to. You could go straight into work. And again, this leads into an apprenticeship. So you could do a level 4 apprenticeship or a level 6 apprenticeship, but still use this as the springboard to get you into where you need to go. And then finally, sorry, I mentioned it already, our higher apprenticeships. With this here, you're in the workplace. So you're 4 days a week at work and 1 day a week at college. And again, this here can be run at the construction and built environment at level 3, or you could go higher and take this through with you. And just so you can look into this a little bit more, so you can see the wonderful world of construction and the built environment, I've actually added a few more links, and there should be a handout that you can download. And on here, so you've got our main institutes and our bodies that we would be awarding through, especially if it was in industry. So we've got the Chartered Institute of Building, the Chartered Institute of Civil Engineers, the Chartered Institute of Building Services Engineers, and the Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors. more really, so you can have a look to see what's going on in the workplace, and you can see some of the fantastic things that we're actually constructing and building at this point, and even look at some of the stuff that we're looking to do in the future.
Cool.
Anything else there, Karen?
Cool. So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, if that's
Okay.
okay, Charlotte. Don't forget, guys, if you do have any questions at all about anything that Charlotte's mentioned, any entry criteria, anything that our students have gone on to, please pop it in the live chat to the right-hand side of the screen. So Charlotte, you mentioned work experience as one of the units. Can you just share a little bit more about where some of your students gone and some of the skills that they've learned from work experience?
We've had an absolute fantastic set of outcomes from our work experience. The course is set, and we have a set amount of work experience hours that we need to do for the study program. With that, we've got students that have gone into civil engineering. So we've got local contractors that are coming in. We've had someone working on the highway project on Maidstone down by the river when that was being expanded. We've got one working at Rochester Airport at the moment, and currently we've got 7 apprentices that I've suddenly have transferred over from our full-time program, because it's you in the workplace and you representing yourself how you want someone to see you. So with that, it's you walking in with a clean slate, and what employers are doing is thinking for the hours that you're there, they're seeing you in the workplace. And then also we've had, as I said, 7 students that have gone from a full-time program actually into apprenticeships and full-time paid work. A lot of the work experience that you would be doing is mainly would be expecting you to find, purely because if you're interested in being a quantity surveyor, there's no point in us going and sending you to an architect's firm. So this is the point where it would be really worth, even at this stage on an application, you looking around and seeing where these work experience placements would be and how they could help you.
Cool. You've got quite a good links with industry as well. So if any students do get stuck, you've got a lot of people in the know to help you with that. So you mentioned some of the destinations that our students have gone to. Can you be a little bit specific about universities or any kind of big employers that we may have heard of where some of your students have progressed to?
I'm still currently following a number of our students that have gone down to the University of Kent on architecture. They're studying a 7-year course, and a majority of those are in the first 5 years of that course. So we're actually studying and watching their progression through. So they're actually getting placements with architects and also studying at the same time with that. We've got quantity surveyors that have gone up to University of Greenwich. We've also got apprentices that have managed to go into civil engineering programs and quantity surveying programs at London South Bank. Brighton is another university that we seem to have students go to, but again, it's all dependent on the subject specialism. And I like to say at this stage, it's actually a point of call for you to start reverse engineering how you want to study and what you want to go to. If you know you want to be a quantity surveyor, there's nothing stopping you at this stage seeing what entry criteria you want and what universities you want to go to, so that you know when you're on your course, you're driving towards the goal that you want. So if you need distinctions all the way through, it's actually a nice reminder for the 2 years that for the university place that you want and where you want to go to, it's the challenge for you to get there.
Cool, thank you. So tell us a little bit more about yourself and your industry experience. How do you find that benefited your students?
Um, it's really benefited my students. I was started off life as a toolmaker in mechanical engineering, and was there for 10 years and thought that was absolutely fantastic, and that was what I was going to be doing for quite a while. After 10 years, I decided that I wanted a career change, because now we don't look at jobs in the same way as we would have a few years ago, where we know we're going to stay in there for a long period of time. And I went into civil engineering. I studied at MidKent College. I was at MidKent for 1 day a week, and actually in employment for 4 days. I was a quality assurance manager for a civil engineering company. Basically, I had 350 tons of concrete that I was in charge of every day, and it was my responsibility to make sure that you as users was actually in a safe place. So if you was on a train or railway going over me, so it's basically knowing that you're confident in what you're doing, having the skills and knowledge, and then actually applying what you've got. So my students have kind of benefited from me having a wider range of skill base, because then they can see how different things interlink with each other, and it's really showing how important it is for you to engage in the workplace and what experience you can get.
Cool. You've done quite a lot then. Do you take any of your students out onto site or any trips or anything like that?
We've got companies that are regularly asking us to come out. We've got Moat Park at the moment. They're just currently starting the scheme and really looking for students to start engaging from September, hoping that we can actually get students engaging from the early part of the project. We've got trips to the BRE at Watford. Obviously, we yearly take the students up to EcoBuild, which is in Excel, and plus possibly we've got a few employers that are actually wanting to come in on site and actually teach you the skills and knowledge around the CAD programs, so you can see how they would apply them realistically in the working environment. So we've got quite a few employers and institutes. We've got the Institute of Civil Engineers that actually come in and speak to our students quite frequently to get you really inspired about being in the industry and actually showing what you can do.
Cool. Thank you very much. Like I said, if anyone has any questions, please pop them in the live chat and I'll get Charlotte to pick them up towards the end. So we're going to move on to talk a little bit more about college in general. So our construction and the built environment programs are offered at our Maidstone campus, up on the Tunbridge Road on the Oakwood Park campus. So we do have parking on site for students. It's permitted. Both campuses are multi-million pound facilities, including workshops and salons, as well as social areas, refectories and coffee shops. So both have bus stops right outside and the train station's about 10 to 15 minutes walk away. So as Charlotte mentioned, the construction and the built environment is part of a study programme, and that would be the technical and professional qualification section of this graph. You also study personal development sessions, which could be anything from mental health right through to having a work-ready interview with an employer. You'll also study English and maths. This could be functional skills, GCSEs, or stress and challenge. That's just dependent on the level that you started with at college. And as Charlotte mentioned, you'll also be doing an industry placement to put those skills into practice in the workplace. We do offer an apprenticeship in construction and the built environment. We do have a webinar happening this Friday if you'd like to learn more about apprenticeships as well. Some of the common FAQs that our course inquiries team always have about college. So how many days per week will I be in college? If you're an apprentice, you'll normally be in college 1 day per week and 4 days in the workplace. Generally, for a full-time programme, you'll be in college 3 to 3.5 days a week. This might change slightly based on the social distancing at the moment, but we will be in touch with you to share more about that. Can I study more than one subject? Unlike A-levels at school, you can't pick and mix courses at college. You'll focus on just construction in the built environment, plus those English and maths study programme parts as well. Can I go to university from college? Yes, many of our students do progress on to university and our programmes do qualify for UCAS points. We will support you during the application process and talk you through everything that you need to, from finance to settling into university. If university isn't for you, that's absolutely fine and we'll support you into employment instead. So how much does a programme cost? So our programmes are free for 16 to 18-year-olds, they're fully funded. If you are 19 plus, you will need to pay fees, but concessions and bursaries are available. You can find out more about our student finance under the handout tab on the top right-hand side of your screen. Is there a deadline to apply? Construction is one of our really popular programmes. Applications have been open since November, so we really do recommend that you apply as soon as possible. We do accept applications into the first few weeks of September, but it does become full. If you are placed on the waiting list, we will be in touch if a place does become available. So life at college. So college isn't just about your study programme and studying. You can also get involved in everything from pantomimes to live gigs, right through to freshers' fairs, competitions, like a lot of the trips that Charlotte mentioned as well. We do a lot of fundraising as a college. Things might look a little bit different for you this year just due to social distancing, but we'll make sure that you're settling into college and that you have a good time with us. We have a lot of support available at college. Charlotte's a really supportive tutor. She'll talk you through any issues that you may have in settling into college. We also have financial support available, student welfare if you just need someone to talk to. We have counsellors on site as well. And we also have in-class support and exam support as well. So just talk to us about your needs. We also have careers advisors on site as well on both of our campuses. So if you want to talk to anyone about your next step or getting ready for an interview, please talk to those guys. There's much more information available under the help and advice tab on the website. So Charlotte, just pop in. I've got a question for you, if that's okay, from Scott.
That's fine.
So he's completed the HNC in construction 3 years ago at Oakwood, and he's looking to do the HND step up. Do you still offer long distance learning?
As far as distance learning, at the moment we'll be looking at blended learning potentially from September, as we don't necessarily do it distance learning as such. You would be expected to be in college for 1 day a week, but it is something we can discuss with the team to see around your specific requirements. Plus, we also need to make sure that the HNC qualification you've currently got at the moment actually maps into the university that we're using at the moment, because I think 3 years ago we would have been validated by the University of Kent, and we're currently validated by the University of Greenwich. So if we can get Scott to give us his email or get in contact with course inquiries, then I'll be able to look into that specifically to make sure everything's around what Scott's requirements are and needs are for his course and moving on.
Perfect. Scott, I'll share Charlotte's email address with you afterwards, if that's okay, to the email address that you registered with this webinar, and she can pick that up for you. Cool. Thank you, Charlotte. So what's next? Thank you very much for Charlotte for sharing everything with us. So the next step to everyone is to search and apply online on our website, and you can see the website beneath that. Please use your predicted grades at the moment, and we'll be in touch once you've submitted within 15 working days to talk you through a phone interview. There's nothing to worry about. It's literally just tutors like Charlotte talking through if it's the right subject area for you, if it's the right level for you, and things like that. If you've already applied, that's absolutely great, and you're just waiting for your phone interview, we'll be in touch soon. As I mentioned, I've popped some of the handouts under the handouts tab on the top right hand side of the screen, just for more frequently asked questions, any financial support, and the additional information handout that Charlotte mentioned as well. We do have other webinars available the rest of this week, so please check them out, including the one about apprenticeships and careers. And please register on our website if you would like to attend these. If you do need any help at all, Charlotte's always willing to answer questions as well. Please get in touch with our course inquiries team on 01634 40 20 20, live chat with them on our website, or send them an email to the below address. You will receive a copy of this webinar to the email address that you registered with in about half an hour's time. If you want to watch it again, cover any of those units that Charlotte mentioned, or to share with anyone else who's interested in construction and the built environment. So thank you for your time today, everyone, and thank you for Charlotte as well. And we look forward to seeing you in person soon. Thank you, everyone.